All right, let's talk about that moment. You've been grinding for weeks, right? Designing, iterating, perfecting. And boom, your high-fidelity prototype is done. It feels amazing, like you've finally crossed the finish line. But what if I told you the most important part of your prototype story is actually just beginning?
So, here's the big question. Your prototype is done, or is it? I mean, you built the thing, it looks fantastic, it actually works. You're totally ready to pack it up and move on. But is the project really finished? This is that exact moment where most designers just go, whew, and breathe a huge sigh of relief. We're going to dig into why hitting the brakes right there might be a huge mistake.
And this is where we need a major shift in thinking. See, most designers think the work is over, but the most crucial part of its story is just about to be written. That stuff you do after the fun design part, it's not just some annoying chore. No, it's you writing your prototype's official origin story. And that story is what connects its past, its present, and its future. So let's break down why that narrative is so ridiculously important.
Okay, first up, the design time capsule. I love this idea. Think of your documentation as exactly that. Its main job? To validate your entire design journey, to prove the why behind every single thing you did.
Think about it. Your project probably had a journey kind of like this, right? From that first problem definition in week 6 to your first iteration, then getting that critical user feedback all the way to the final prototype. I mean, this thing didn't just magically appear. It evolved. And your documentation? That's the only thing that actually captures that whole story. It makes all that invisible thinking visible.
And here's why that matters. It demonstrates the why behind every choice you made. That documentation is your proof that your process was thoughtful, it was deliberate. Why that specific shade of blue for the button? Why is the navigation laid out exactly like that? The doc has the answers, turning what might look like a simple choice into a super well-reasoned decision.
I mean, this quote just nails it, doesn't it? Decisions were made deliberately, not arbitrarily. This sentence is basically your ultimate defense. It's you saying, hey, we didn't just guess here. We listened, we tested, we learned, and then we built. It's the absolute best validation of your work you can ask for.
Okay, so moving on. Let's talk about your documentation as a blueprint for the future. This is all about guiding what comes next, making sure your vision doesn't get lost, especially if you're handing the project off.
So who actually needs this story you've written? Well, for starters, the developers who have to build this thing. They need that context to build it right. Then you've got your stakeholders who need to totally get the design intent. And honestly, maybe the most important person, your future self. Seriously, 6 months from now, when you're trying to remember why you did something, you'll be so glad you wrote it down.
At the end of the day, great documentation prevents all those future misunderstandings and ensures the project can continue smoothly. It stops that classic game of telephone, where your original brilliant idea gets totally lost in translation by the time it gets to the end. This makes sure the project moves forward on the solid foundation you built.
All right, and this one is my favorite.
Let's talk about the presentation secret weapon. This is where your documentation goes from being a record to being a tool that helps you absolutely crush your final presentation, showing everyone your mastery.
Just look at this showdown. It's like two different worlds. Without docs, you're just winging it, relying on memory. Your reasons sound kind of vague, maybe even random. But with docs, bam, you have clear justification for everything. You're not just the designer, you're a master of the process. It just signals a whole other level of professionalism.
Because that's really what this all boils down to. It's the evidence that reinforces the credibility of your team's work. Having that documentation ready shows you went deep. It's not just about the shiny final product. It's about the rigorous process you took to get there. And that evidence is what makes people trust your work and be truly impressed.
Okay, so you're sold, right? But what do you actually put in this thing? Let's quickly run through an essential checklist so you know exactly what to include.
So here are the core components. You got to start with the core problem you were trying to solve and who you were solving it for, your user personas. Then, show the journey. What were the key iterations and what did you learn from feedback? Throw in some structural diagrams, like user flows, to make complex stuff easy to understand. And for every big change, you need your redesign rationale, the why. And finally, list out the key features of the final prototype. You put all that together, and you've got the whole story.
So if we're going to put a new definition on it, let's be clear. Documentation is the official record of your design's evolution. It's the hard proof that shows you engage deeply with the entire design process. It's not paperwork, it's a testament to your craft.
So let's wrap this up. It's not just paperwork.
It's proof of your thoughtful process. It's a guide for anyone who touches the project next, and it is absolutely your secret weapon for that final presentation. So, I'm going to leave you with this one thought. Your prototype has a story, a really good one, full of twists and turns, challenges and breakthroughs. The only question is, are you going to be the one to tell it?